A few weeks ago, I made a video talking about why making a new Batman game would be hard, right? And I gave a few reasons as to why. You guys should go check out that video if you haven't seen it already. But today, I wanted to go over why it would be easy to make a new Batman game. Now, this is kind of like a remake of a video I made a while ago, but I wanted to go back over this topic again because I believe that there's rumors of a new Batman game, and having such information out there, I wanted to talk about why making a new Batman game could be extremely easy. And I'm not even talking about Batman Arkham. It could be Batman Arkham, it could be a new universe, it could be based off some of the movies, comics, whatever. So today, we're going to be going over why making a new Batman game could be easy. And if you guys enjoy, make sure to leave a thumbs up, make sure to subscribe, and I want to thank you guys once again for 1,000 subs. We are going to get that live stream going as soon as possible. As soon as I get a date where I'm able to do so, I will let you guys know, and we will make it happen. So without wasting any more of your time, let's get right into this, because I think that Batman is like one of the most marketable superheroes out there for a few different reasons. The first reason being, I know that when you talk about a superhero, it's not necessarily about realism, right? You don't necessarily care about realism when you're talking about something that's meant to be fiction to begin with, right? You don't mind a little bit of unrealistic, characteristics. However, the thing is, if you have a superhero that's almost like too overpowered and has got some crazy super abilities, then I think that playing as said characters just wouldn't really be as much fun, right? If you play as the Flash or if you play as Superman, I don't think you would have as much fun as playing with someone like Batman due to potential difficulties and challenges that come along with playing as someone like Batman, right? I think Batman's probably the most realistic superhero out there. And like I said, even though you're probably not going to watch a superhero movie when it comes to, realism and stuff, I still think it matters how realistic a character is, so that playing as them isn't just the most boring experience ever. Unless you're into just, playing a story mode game for the actual character development and you're more into the actual story rather than the gameplay, then sure. But when you play a superhero video game, you kind of want there to be some sort of challenges with some really good boss fights in there. And I think Batman has the most opportunity for potential boss fights, as well as just overall extremely good gameplay. But the second thing I wanted to go into is I believe that the supervillains that Batman have are definitely the best out of any sort of franchise, definitely the most marketable, especially. Like, there isn't really oil and water like Batman and Joker with any other sort of superhero slash supervillain. I cannot think of any other superhero that have this one supervillain that, sometimes gets the better of them, gets the upper hand. They're yin and yang. They're so tightly knit and they're more similar than they realize. I don't really think you get that sort of experience out of other superheroes. And maybe that's because the Joker is just such a unique character that it's the most marketable, can make the most amount of money. But I would argue that people who aren't even superhero fans know the Batman and the Joker are oil and water. They're yin and yang. They are things that don't generally go very well together, right? They're opposites who kind of attract to each other in a way, though. And I think that that's extremely marketable for a game. For instance, the entire Batman Arkham franchise was built off of Batman and Joker's relationship for every single game. Despite what the marketing may have told you before the games came out, it was still about the Batman and the Joker's overall experiences, while the other characters were kind of just there for show. Whereas you play other superhero games, you just don't really tend to get that same type of overall experience, in my opinion. Now, in this video, I don't really want to touch too much on gameplay, because even though I had said, about the gameplay earlier, I'm not going to go too deep into that, because I believe that video games have come far enough to the point where you can make really, really good gameplay with, not, I don't want to say without too much effort, but I think that it's been out there, it's been done over and over again. I'm not too worried about the gameplay. If a AAA company wants to make a very good superhero game, the gameplay most likely will be good regardless. It's more about the challenging stuff that goes into a game like that. And honestly, I think getting a game like that to fly off the shelves would not be a very difficult task at all, considering the fact that fans are looking for a new superhero game of some sort of variety. Because yes, while we did just get Batman Arkham Shadow, I'm willing to bet that probably 95% of the gaming population does not have a MetaQuest 3. In fact, even someone like me, for instance, actually bought a MetaQuest 3 just for the purpose of playing that game. And yes, that game was very, very good, by the way. Do not get that mistaken. However, one on console, there hasn't been an Arkham game that's come out since 2015. And since that time, there's been Gotham Knights that's come out, Suicide Squad, there's been a few Spider-Man games that have come out. But in terms of the actual Batman genre where you play as the Bat, We haven't gotten a new game since 2015 that you can play on console. That is a long period of time, so I don't think it would be hard to get one of those games to sell, especially with the name Batman on it. You know, a lot of people who aren't the biggest fans of Batman, don't really know about the Batman lore, would definitely still be willing to buy a game like this if they've played the Batman Arkham series. It doesn't even necessarily matter if it's in a new continuity or not. Now, I have said before, and I will say it again, I personally would want it to be in a new continuity. But that just comes down to my own personal preferences. I believe that if you look at what we had in Batman Arkham Knight, something that, in my opinion, was just not great storytelling, not very good writing, because we had new writing staff, I would personally like to see the original writing staff come back or get someone else to do it with a new genre. Because I think if you have someone come back in here and write this, kind of mid-story with the same writing team that wrote Batman Arkham Knight, then I think that we're going to end up getting another crappy game, and I think it's going to kind of tarnish the overall reputation for what the Batman Arkham universe stands for. And I don't want to see that name tarnished, because the Batman Arkham games are amazing games, and I don't want to see that legacy get ruined all because we get mediocre writing for a game that ultimately didn't turn out to have as good a success as the previous games, at least in terms of the story. Now, I don't want to crap on Arkham Knight too much. There are things about it I like. I like some of the side missions. The story isn't horrible. I think it's okay. The gameplay's amazing, of course, but our issue has never been with the gameplay necessarily. It's more about the actual storytelling. We want a good story. We want a Batman the Telltale series type story. Batman Arkham Asylum, City, or Origins. Origins is the best one by far. Not by far, I should say, but it is definitely the best story in the series. And if you go down that sort of path and that sort of direction, then absolutely, let's make another Batman Arkham game. Batman Arkham Shadow had a really good story. We can go something down a path like that. But if we're just going to get something that's kind of then I think I'll pass on that one personally, and would like to see it in a new genre. Because the benefit of that would be you have a blank canvas. You have so much to work with if you start over from scratch that it could be easier to get a new writing and developing team getting into the groove of writing something like a Batman game, which like I said before, I think it'll sell regardless. And on top of everything that I've just laid out for you guys, if you guys get the trailers that came out for, Batman Arkham City, Batman Arkham Origins, Arkham Knight, I've never actually seen one from Arkham Asylum, so I'm not 100% sure on that, but if you get the trailers from the other games, those trailers were amazing. Those live action trailers, or I'm pretty sure they were live action. I don't even remember, actually. You guys are going to have to let me know down in the comments. I don't remember if they were or not, but those trailers were so good. It'll sell no problem. And guys, these are just a few reasons why making a new Batman game could be easy. I'm sure I could probably give 100 reasons if you gave me the time. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for 1,000 subs. I seriously do appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all have an amazing day. Let me know what you guys want to see next down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!